So we have our contestants from Salinas High School, King's College of the Philippines, St. Catherine School, and of course, Bambang National High School. Participants, kindly raise your hands once your school is called. Salinas High School, St. Catherine School, Bambang National High School, King's College of the Philippines. For someone who is intelligent, everything that happens is an opportunity. This moment is a perfect opportunity for the chosen Bambanggenyo learners to showcase their intelligence. To the local chief executive of the municipality of Bambang, the Honorable Benjamin Jame Lloren Quaresma III, the LGU officials and employees of this municipality, the school administrators, coaches, and participants from the different secondary schools of this town, to the board of judges of this competition, friends, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. This is the afternoon part of the second day of the first ever Tagisan ng Talino under Project JAMI, Driving Achieving Merits in Education through Academic Contests. To start, please rise for the prayer to be led by Ms. Samantha T. Domingo.
Let us pray. Almighty Father, we honor and adore you, for you are the giver of wisdom and knowledge. We ask for forgiveness for our shortcomings, and we ask for your blood to wash our hearts and minds from any iniquity. Father, we offer our thanksgiving and gratitude for the countless blessings that you have bestowed upon us. Today, we invoke your presence to shower wisdom upon the participants and coaches, that they may be efficient in using their knowledge for this competition. We give back all the praises, honor, and glory to you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Please, let us all be seated. At this juncture, may we listen to the Mayor of the Municipality of Bambang, Honorable Benjamin Jame Lloren Quaresma III, for his opening remarks.
Thank you, ma'am. So, first of all, I would like to greet syempre our contestants. Earlier, we finished with our extemporaneous speech, which was very successful, I believe. At this juncture, for our secondary school debate competition, I wish all of you a good luck, syempre. And to our teachers and coaches, alam ko naman, para mas kinakabahan pa yata kayo kaysa sa ating mga students. To our judges, to our LGU officials and employees, and to everybody here, good afternoon. As I spoke earlier, and I've been talking about it since yesterday, with our spelling bee and quiz bee, I would like this to be already a norm with regard to our yearly competitions. Sabi ko nga, for our basketball court, next year, when na yan, professional wood flooring na tayo. Professional na yung ating mga basketball hoops and everything. So, sabi ko, we focus enough on sports. We also now should focus already on the academics. I was very happy, especially with the spelling bee yesterday, na nakita ko na yung mga bata na grade 3 and grade 4 could spell long and elaborate words already. And I believe for next year, I would like it per grade level na ang spelling bee. And for our quiz bee, kaya naman din per grade level na. And for next year, most probably, our extempo and debate kung kakayanin for all of our high school na rin. Para talagang per level, may magkakaroon ng representation. I would like to also ask kung may onting technical difficulties, kung may onting mga kailangan baguhin, we can work together para for our next debate, for our next extempo, for our next spelling, and for our next quiz bee, maganda na at saka masaya na para sa lahat po. Once again, advance congratulations to our winners and good luck to all of our participants this morning. Thank you very much and good afternoon pala.
Thank you very much, Mayor. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, the municipal mayor of this town, the Honorable Benjamin Jami Loren Quaresma III. This time we shall proceed to the presentation of contending schools. Once your school is called, may we request the contestants or the participants for the Tagisan ng Talino Secondary Schools debate competition to please proceed on stage together with your coach. We have the contestants from Salinas High School. The Salinas High School debate team, Abigail Wales, Lenny Visaya, Rene Kaman, Sofia Kalpasi, and Amira Buayan. Their coach is Madam Lovely May J. Julian. Once again, the Salinas High School debate team. We also have Bamban National High School debate team. Aaron Job L. Magoncia, Kristen Alessandra T. Gallon, Jolina L. Camilo, Van Jason Cerejo, and Althea May G. Brunoa. Their coach is Madam Jovelyn G. Morales. Once again, the Bambang National High School debate team. We also have the King's College of the Philippines debate team. Tracy Rose Francel M. Miguel, Shekinah Kezia B. Flores, Russell Clyde M. Dayagan, John A. Marquez Jr., and Layfrance Joy R. Pitpitunge. Their coach is Sir Martian Sebey. Once again, the King's College of the Philippines debate team. And last but not the least, we also have the St. Catherine School the St. Catherine Schools debate team. Maria Rihanna Catharina Aduca, Rennie Jones Hernandez, Jean Adrian Monsur del Rosario, Andre Stephen Duldulao, and Akisha Isabel Canlas. Their coach is Madam Catherine R. Razo. Once again, the St. Catherine Schools debate team. This time, may we call a representative from each school for the draw lots. So the draw lots will be held, at the back of the technical team. May we request the representatives from each debate team to please proceed on stage for the draw lots. Team number 1 will be So for the first round of the debate, it will be Bambang National High School and King's College of the Philippines. So again, for round 1 of the debate, it will be Bambang National High School and King's College of the Philippines debate team. For round 2, it will be St. Catherine's Schools debate team and Salinas High School. May we then request all the contestants from the 4 competing schools to please proceed at the holding area. The LGU employees will escort you. Once again, the LGU employees will be escorting the contestants from the 4 competing schools at the holding area. This time, ladies and gentlemen, we shall proceed to the introduction of the Board of Judges. We have 3 members of the Board of Judges for this afternoon's secondary schools debate competition under the Tagisan ng Talino of Project JAMI. Our first judge finished her Bachelor in Secondary Education, major in English at St. Mary's University. She was an SMU dance troupe alumna and was an SMU service awardee. For her graduate studies, she finished her Master of Arts in Teaching, finished academic requirement at NVSU. She is now taking up Masters in Educational MAED in Aldersgate College. As for her work experience, she taught at St. Teresita's Academy from 2017 to 2018 and was a school paper advisor, campus journalism coach, impromptu speaking coach, and dance sports coach. She also worked as an emergency instructor at NVSU Bambang in 2018 to 2022 in the College of Arts and Sciences and College of Teacher Education. Right now, she teaches at Aritao National High School, and she is the current school paper advisor, school information officer, and campus journalism coach of the said school. Ladies and gentlemen, our first member of the Board of Judges, Madam Gian Earl A. Lucas. Our second judge was a chairman in high school parliamentary debate team, division and regional STEP and Future Farmers, Homemakers, and Industrialists of the Philippines in 2008. He became a two-time champion in debate regional level for the Philippine Association of State Universities and Colleges, or PASUC, at Quirino State University in 2016 and 2017. He was also he also garnered sixth place national level for PASUC at Bicol State University in 2016. He also garnered fourth place in debate national level during the National Rizal Youth Leadership Institute, or NRILE, in Baguio City in 2017. He was the president and student regent of the University Supreme Student Council and was a member of the NVSU Board of Regents at NVSU in 2017 to 2018. He was a former member researcher of the Debate and Moot Society, or DEMOS, of St. Louis University School of Law in Baguio City in 2021. He was a former senior high school teacher too at Caquidugen National High School, DepEd Nueva Vizcaya, from 2019 to March 2021. Right now, he is a faculty member of the College of Arts and Sciences of Nueva Vizcaya State University, Bayombong Campus. And he is also a university coach for extemporaneous contest from 2001 to present. Ladies and gentlemen, our second judge, Sir Nathaniel Aliguyon. Our third judge, and of course, the chairman of the Board of Judges, earned his tertiary education from 2002 to 2007 at St. Mary's University, Bayombong. He is considered a Juris Doctor at Northeastern College from 2019 to present. From 2014 to 2023, he was able to earn his Master of Science in Engineering Management. From 2003 to 2006, he was a member of the Intercollegiate Debate of St. Mary's University and was a champion and consecutive debate champion and was hailed as MU's best speaker. In 2002, he was also a Q&A, or question and answer, pageant trainer and helped pave the way to the winning of Youth Ambassador 2022, which is a national competition, Binibining Quirino, first runner-up, and the Bagong Bayan Youth Movement. Ladies and gentlemen, our third judge and the chairman of the Board of Judges, Engineer Zanderkan Lizardo, a registered electronics and communications engineer, aside from being a debater. This time, may we call on Engineer Zanderkan Lizardo, the chairman of the Board of Judges, to read to us the criteria for judging and the guidelines for this competition.
Thank you, Madam. Good afternoon. Yes, and of course, good luck to our debaters. First thing that we'll have to do is a toss coin to know who will be on the positive or the negative side. You will be given 10 minutes to prepare before we start the debate proper. For the debate proper, you will be graded according to your organization and clarity, that's 25%. Use of argument, 25%. Use of cross-examination and rebuttal, 25%. Presentation style is also 25%, totaling to 100%. Dear debaters, good luck.
Thank you very much, Engineer Lizardo, the chairman of the Board of Judges. This time, we shall proceed with the first round of as we begin with the first round of the secondary schools debate competition, we shall have the toss coin first.
Hello, Mike. May I request po yung captain po ng schools po natin, captain po ng Bambang National High School, and captain ng KCP. So, magkakaroon po tayo ng toss coin to determine which side ang school ninyo. Ang affirmative, dito po ang magiging affirmative, dito ang negative side. So, kayong captain, kayong pipili kung head or tail. So, kapag ang lumabas, yung napili ninyo, siya ang magdidetermine kung affirmative side ang school nila or negative side. Okay na tayo? Sige. Anong side? Head po. Head, ano, ano? Ikaw, ano, head ka na? Sa heads po, sa Bambang National High School. Okay. Sige, sige po. Sige, kapit ka doon agad. Ano makita niyo? Head, tail, head. So, ang lumabas po is tail. So, KCP will determine kung anong side po sila.
So, fellow KCPians, what do you
Hello?
think? I think it
Excuse
is
me.
better.
Before you choose, babasahin muna na. We will be reading the topic first. Okay? So that you may be able to choose which side are you going to push through. So I'll be asking Ma'am Gian.
Okay, good afternoon. So your debate topic will be social media presents a positive impact on mental health. Social media presents a positive impact on mental health.
Please choose your side. Are you on the positive or the negative side?
For the majority, I think we would use the affirmative side.
Sa KCP, proceed kayo sa kabila, mag-swap kayo ng mga places ninyo.
So, again, the topic is social media presents a positive impact on mental health. And the King's College of the Philippines debate team has chosen the affirmative side, meaning to say the negative side will be Bambang National High School. Both teams, you are given 10 minutes to prepare. Your time starts now. Just a clarification, once the judge has started or read the question, the time will automatically start. So as of now, 1 minute and 40 seconds was consumed. To both teams, you have 2 minutes remaining for the preparation. Last 20 seconds. Ten minutes, 10 seconds remaining. Okay. So, to both teams, your time is up for the 10-minute preparation. We shall now go to the debate proper, or the first round of the debate proper. But we would like to remind you that the following are considered violations: speaking bad words, noise, or noisiness while a member or a speaker is still speaking. The medium should be English. Again, you are not allowed to use the Filipino or the vernacular language. And no gadgets are allowed while you are on stage. And for every round, the speakers should be at the center, as you can see on that yellow table. So the affirmative side here and the negative side there. For the first round, each speaker will be given 5 minutes. The affirmative will be speaking first, and then the negative side for 5 minutes each. And then each will be given a chance for the rebuttal, 30 seconds. For 30 seconds. Again, the rebuttal is 30 seconds. For the second round, for the next speaker will be given 3 minutes each to talk, starting with the affirmative and then the negative. And also, you will be given a chance for a 30-second rebuttal. And for the final round, or the last speakers will be given 5 minutes each, starting with the affirmative and then the negative. And the same thing, you will be given a chance to rebut for 30 seconds. Thank you. So may we now call the first set of speakers from both teams. May we have from the speaker from the King's College of the Philippines and the speaker from Bambang National High School. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, the topic is social media presents a positive impact on mental health. And KCP has the affirmative side. Bambang National High School has the negative side. Let's start with the King's College of the Philippines. Your time starts now.
So, in our topic, social media presents a positive impact on mental health. It is highly understandable that this is agreeable. That is because social media is an online platform free for everyone to access as long as he, she, or that person has a device for it. It is an online world filled with different types of educational, entertainment, and many other types of entertainment as well. These we can use, in our defense, we can use the term inspiration. Inspiration can serve as a, it can serve as a, okay, so let me say it again. The social media presents a, social media presents a positive impact depending on the mental health of a person as it provides inspiration and motivation. One example is social connectivity with different people and the world. That is through the different platforms. We could use Facebook, we could use Instagram, and through these examples, we could we could say that many people would stumble upon these different types of platform. We could say that many people could stumble upon these different type of platforms. That is because it, like I said, it is free for everyone who has a device on it. And in these platforms, we have different types of genres. We have the educational, which is the primary purpose for students to use the social media for. That is because in social media, we could find many different quotations. We can find many different lessons. We can find many different quotations regarding the mental health of one individual. That is why let us rephrase mental health again. Mental health is the overall welfare of one's mentality, which under this is also the psychological health. Now, in social media, we could observe that many people would say that it is helpful to them. Why? Because some people in social media, I repeat, some people in social media gives out these inspirationals, gives out the inspirations, they give out the motivation for such young users like us students to use as our driving force for our education. In here, we could also find educational videos. One example is the TED Ed, that you can find many different types of educational, such as the Pythagorean theorem and many other mathematical explanations. In Facebook, we could find also here the history for those students who would use history as their main subject, especially in their Araling Panlipunan. And we could also become and different from education, it is also motivational, because in social media, we could find, or we could, in chance, stumble upon motivational speakers who would give out these very inspiring messages for us youth to use in our everyday lives. That is why I would say that it is very, very helpful, not only in educational, but also for the inspiration and motivation used for that individual. In some contexts, we could also say that social media does provide positive not only in an individual level, but also for a group level. Say some groups are very how do you say? Some groups are behind others. This inspirational message for the group
You have
will
1
serve
minute
us.
remaining.
Will serve as the primary focus for that group. That is why in mental health, it is very important for students to use social media for their own benefits, not only for the use of negative effects of it. It does then vary depending on the usage of that person for that effect. That is why I do say that social media is positive for the mental health of an individual, especially for us students who are looking for inspiration, motivation, education, and many others.
Thank you very much, speaker from King's College of the Philippines, or the first speaker from the King's College of the Philippines. It's your turn, speaker from Bambang National High School.
To our opponents, adjudicators, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant afternoon to each and every one of us. Today we have gathered here to discuss whether social media presents a positive impact on mental health. Now, earlier, first speaker of the affirmative side said that some people receive inspiration or motivation from using social media, right? Now, he also included about the educational videos and the advantages of it. Now, if you were to rely on social media with the thought of it is helpful for us, what about the apps that helps students to just receive the answer and not analyze it? An example of this is the Brainly, ChatGPTs, the AIs. You know that, right? Next, as for the motivational and inspiration people get from social media, it also has the opposite effects of it. Just like when people post their pictures online, and other people would comment on it, saying negative comments about it, such as "you're too fat," or "you have a very short leg," and others like that. And that is why we, the negative side, firmly oppose the proposition that social media presents a positive impact on mental health. And these are the reasons why. First, addiction. When using social media, you tend to get addicted to it. That is because it is, after all, engaging. Yes, it is addicting. But this addiction leads them to procrastinate, unfocus, and leading them to delay their actions or works from schools, especially students and the workers from any other works or professions. And these actions leads to laziness in terms of their works. And an example of this, as I mentioned earlier, are the students. When you give out their homeworks, they're gonna use social media to get answers from, and they rely on that too much, causing them to not analyze or not study that hard. That is why if you were to allow and say to people that, oh, it's okay to use social media because of its benefits, then that would make them to absorb in using it and thinking that it's okay always to use it. The second reason is anxiety and depression. Too much usage of social media can cause anxiety and depression. When they think too much and they feed on negative comments and contents posted in social media platforms, causing the users to think negatively, that causes nervousness and negative emotions as well. As I mentioned earlier, when people post a picture of them thinking that they will receive positive comments on their outlooks, on their physical appearances, but instead they get negative feedbacks from the audience of the social media users. And if they do that, the users are also gonna be affected in terms of their mental health. And that is why we, the negative side, firmly oppose the proposition that social media presents a positive impact on mental health.
Time consumed 4 minutes, 30 seconds. We now proceed with the rebuttal. So each side will be given 30 seconds to rebut the claim or claims of each side. Starting with the speaker from King's College of the Philippines. Your time starts now.
So, first of all, I do not believe that this will cause laziness. That is because people or the students who abuses this kind of, who addresses this kind of use of the social media will only lead to the negative side of it. That is why we are promoting the positive side of it. Addiction differs from person to person. It does not have to be chosen by the majority. And in
Your
your
time is up. We shall now proceed with the rebuttal of the negative side. Your time starts now.
Mr. Speaker, you said earlier that you can't only think about the positives. You can use the positive side and of the social media, but can't you also consider the negative sides of it, such as when people browse in the internet for answers rather than looking for or learning the topics given out
time
by the
is up.
teacher.
Thank you very much to the first set of speakers from King's College of the Philippines and Bambang National High School. We now proceed with the second round. For the second round, once again, each speaker will be given 3 minutes to defend their claim, starting with the affirmative and the negative. They will also be given a 30 seconds for the rebuttal. Thank you. May we start?
A blessed afternoon to everyone. So in addition to what our team captain have said a while ago, social media presents a positive impact on mental health of one's well-being on 3 reasons. Number 1 reason is that it helps one to become aware of him or herself, especially when it comes to expressing oneself. Like our team captain have said a while ago, social media is a free world. Number 2 reason is that it's you. You handle your media. You can use social media as a way to promote not just your own mental health, but also the mental health of other people, where one cannot express what we can express on social media without indignating our own dignity. Number 3 reason is that you can use social media to interact with other people or socialize with other people, whether from our country or from other countries. So in correlation with the mental health, when it comes to interacting with other people, you engage with other people you met through various means like Mobile Legends. That's actually considered social media because you interact with other players where you share your interests, where you share your same interests with other people. And we believe that by using social media or like I said a while ago, Mobile Legends, you promote your own mental health and who knows, maybe you don't know the situation of the other people at the other side of that device, and maybe because of your interaction with them, it gives you, it helps you to help them to express and to free their self from mental health issues. And that would be all. Thank you.
Time consumed 2 minutes, 7 seconds. We now proceed with the second speaker.
To our fellow debaters, esteemed judges, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant morning to each and every one of us. I am Tagisan, the second speaker of the negative side. And we, the negative side, firmly oppose the proposition of social media presents a positive impact on mental health. So, Mr. Speaker just said, it helps one aware to himself. I know many students that is not aware of themselves because of social media interaction, because they somewhat idolize someone that isn't them, or they idolize someone like for example Mr. Andrew Tate. They idolize that man. They idolize that man because he is somewhat charismatic and persuasive. So every student feels like they are somewhat charismatically and persuasive, and they somewhat adopt some negative attitudes. And I just want to enhance the arguments of our first speaker, which is social media can cause procrastinations to students, and social media can reduce the social interactions of the students. Social media is full of short videos that you think that it can consume your time because it only costs about 7 seconds, or like in TikTok, 10 seconds, like that. But as you scroll on, the time will pass quickly and can lose your focus on the other things, for example, your education and other activities. Social media is like a barrier to your social interactions that can greatly affect your mental health. Because instead of going out and bonding with your friends and family, you are more focused on social media, playing video games, scrolling on TikTok, and wasting your time laying on your bed while scrolling on TikTok. And as time and day pass, you are likely to have anxiety and depressions because you will feel lonely. Okay. According to science, the more lonely you feel, the more you have anxiety and depressions. And with addictions to social media, it can reduce your social interactions with your physical interactions with your friends and social interactions with your family. So with all I have said,
Last 30
that
seconds.
is why we, the negative side, firmly oppose the proposition of social media presents a positive impact on mental health.
Time consumed 2 minutes, 39 seconds. We now proceed with the second round, or the rebuttal part. You have 30 seconds for KCP.
You said a while ago that idolizing someone affects negatively on the mental health of a person. But actually, that is a sign of expressing oneself, and which also affects positively your mental health. And you said a while ago that social media is a barrier, but no. By using social media, you can use this as a
Your
mean to
time is
interact
up.
with other people. Thank you.
We now have the second speaker for his rebuttal.
Okay, why did I say that idolizing someone is negative to your health? How can you be aware of yourself? How can be your future self if you are creative in artistical way, if you are creative in drawing and you idolize someone who plays basketball but you are short, you are not physically able to dunk on the ring or shoot 3 points, but you are creative enough to draw paint, to express yourself in somewhat creative way, and you can be.
Your time is up. So thank you very much to the second set of speakers from KCP and Bambang National High School. This time we have the third round. For the third round, the speakers will be given 5 minutes each. 3 minutes each to speak. May we have the speakers for the third round? Again, clarification, each speaker will be given 3 minutes to speak. Let's start with the affirmative side. Your time starts now.
Good day to all of us. So here in affirmative side. So they stated a while ago that social media causes addiction. It's like for us as a group, social media doesn't cause addiction. It is the one who is using it that cause themselves to be addicted more on social media. It is not their fault. It is the user's fault. It is not the platform's fault. And a while ago, our first speaker have said that social media have many positive impacts, like the inspirational video, education, and many stuff. So in different aspect as a student, and you as a student who always use social media, sometimes social media helps us in different ways, because sometimes social media talks to us in it's not just educating us, it not just giving us knowledge, but also it is giving us inspiration in many ways, and it helps us heal to the things that we don't talk about. So social media can be used in globalization, and social media help us to be connected with different people, to have more idea on how we can cope up. It teaches us how to socialize through virtual network. Yes, it has many positive impacts, like as a person that knows some introvert person, they are more open in social media because they do know that they can express themselves more. And that causes them to be more confident. It causes them to be more knowledgeable in stuff. And as a group, social media is the main purpose of social media is to give knowledge and to give education to all of us, because this is the platform that can give us inspiration in many ways, like for example, many shared posts about mental health awareness. It gives us the knowledge to identify ourselves if we have depression and anxiety, and like for the
Last 30 seconds.
like for the statement that they stated a while ago, it causes depression. No, it doesn't cause depression and anxiety, because it is the user's fault and they must be more responsible. They don't need to put all the fun to social media, because it is not the social media's fault, because it is just giving us information and it's just inspiring us in different platforms. That's all.
Time consumed 2 minutes 58 seconds. We now proceed with the second speaker. Your time starts now.
Good afternoon, everyone. We are on the negative side. So you have said earlier that it is the user's fault if there is an addiction to his mental health. Social media has a content that stimulates a person's mind to be interested. If you are using Facebook or some social media applications, won't you be interested in other things, and that lets you use it for a longer time because you are interested in it. And you also said that social media makes people confident. So social media is an application that lets other users use negative comments on you. So how can you be confident if other people are discouraging you from other things? So I'll just enhance what my other teammates said. Social media is influential. Social media has been a worldwide phenomenon to us. As you can see, social media has a lot of influencers, vloggers that keeps doing contents that can interest us more, and teenagers or other people can adapt from this. So there are a lot of times that what they see on the internet is what they adapt. So that teachers always warns, or teachers or guidance always warns the students or their child to reduce themselves on using their social media, because sometimes people keep saying bad words. People keep saying that be strong and fight for what you believe in. That fight for what you believe in. That let
30
others
seconds remaining.
that let others not use their not
use laws and do some bashing on others, and that influences their way of thinking. Um, that just shows that whether you use the social media for good use, if you are able to absorb some negative impacts or negative
Your time is
contents.
up.
Thank you.
This time, we shall have the rebuttal from both sides. May we have the first speaker for her 30-second rebuttal.
Well, for all the statement that you have stated, well, yes, many social media have different disadvantages, but it has more advantages. It is more wide. Why? Because it makes people stronger. It tests their mental health on how they cope up, on how they can just do what the things that they want. Because social media can be more on the complicated stuff,
Your
but
time
still.
is up. May we have the second speaker? Your time starts now.
As you have said, you said that social media is inspirational, right? How can you be so certain that social media has positive impacts if where they get their inspirations have many different negative impacts on them? Okay na po.
So the second speaker is done for her rebuttal. She consumed 21 seconds. Thank you very much to both speakers. So may we also have the fourth speaker? Do we still have the fourth speaker, dear judges? Okay. May we welcome the fourth speakers from both sides. So the fourth speakers will be having 3 minutes also to air their claims. Speaker from KCP, your time starts now.
Okay, social media has a quite positive impact in our mental health. First, in the area of education, the students who are cramming and not that knowledgeable in the activities in academic, they can use the apps provided in social media, and it will lessen their stress. For example, if the teacher just give an activity and doesn't really said what to do, she or he will find the answer in social media, and it will ease the stress, and it will, because of that, depression or that negative stress will be lessened. Another is that because of social media, you get to know what your loved one is doing when you're far from her or her. Instead of thinking what is happening to her, what is happening in her or her life, because of social media, you'll get to know what is her status in the other side of the country, maybe, or in the other place. And that are the two arguments already.
So, time consumed 1 minute 30 seconds. Your turn, second speaker from Bambang National High School. Your time starts now.
To our fellow debaters, judges, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant afternoon to each and every one of us. So we, the negative side, firmly oppose the idea that social media presents a positive impact on mental health. In addition to the statements of my fellow debaters, here's the reason why. First, majority of the children now are addicted to mobile games and apps with the use of social media. In GMA News, there's a children that purchased his parents' salary for some characters in mobile games. Do you think that is a positive effect on mental health? And this clearly states that children get addicted to what they see. And to the mobile games that is presented by the social media. Second reason, cyberbullying. We all know that cyberbullying causes stress, especially to students. I am not aware if you have watched the news about the student who committed suicide, but I want to share it. That student committed suicide because of cyberbullying. They bully her through GC or group chats, and group chats is considered as social media. And that clearly states that it does not serve a positive impact on mental health. That's why we, the negative side, firmly oppose the idea that social media presents a positive impact on mental health.
Time consumed, 1 minute 27 seconds. We now proceed with the rebuttal. Your time starts now.
Okay, addiction. You just said addiction. It can actually be avoided in many ways. And you said the cyberbully. Actually, everything can be used either positively or negatively. So if you're going to use social media in a positive way, it can really open or unlock the positive help. And
your time is up.
Mr. Speaker, so you mentioned that it can be avoided. How sure are you that it can be avoided? As I mentioned earlier, in GMA News, there's a children that purchase his parents' salary, and this clearly states that it does not have a good effect on mental health. How sure are you that it can be avoided, Mr. Speaker?
Okay, the second speaker's time is 20 seconds for her rebuttal. Thank you to the fourth set of speakers. May we have the last set of speakers. For the last set of speakers, or the fifth speakers from both sides, you are given 5 minutes to air your claims, starting with the affirmative. Okay, speaker from the affirmative side, your time starts now.
Good afternoon, judges. Good afternoon to every one of us. I am the fifth speaker for the proposition side, and I am representing King's College of the Philippines, Laboratory High School. And for us, with regards to our topic about social media that presents a positive impact on our mental health, we would also like to add a little bit of information about that. But before I move on to my conclusion, I want to add some rebuttals from the previous 4 speakers. Now, the first speaker said that some of the negative impacts of social media are addiction and anxiety and depression. Well, for anxiety and depression, that is the reason why social media is there, because a statement or a quote says that no man is an island, and we need social media to socialize with others, and with that we can be able to be good citizens. And with regards to cyberbullying, or it is against the Republic Act 10627, or also called the Anti-Bullying Act of 2013. For cyberbullying in social media, yes, it can be prevented, but it is still there. However, this in cyberbullying, this is where we can actually see how resilient we are, because that is an important aspect in life, because without any negative things in life, then I don't know if it's life. And another here is loneliness. It is pretty much the same with anxiety and depression, but it is still the same. That's why social media is important, because it aids loneliness through for letting the citizens access socialization. And for the cyberbullying, it is the user of social media that is the problem, not the social media itself. Because social media is only a vessel for change, and that is not the problem, but the users. It is only a matter of how high the level of how literate a person is with regards to media information and technology. And that is why we, King's College of the Philippines Laboratory High School, strongly agrees that social media has a positive impact not only in our mental health but for our general well-being as human beings in this world. And I'd also like to add, as I conclude, that social media, the definition of social media, is an online platform that is accessible to everyone as long as he, she, or a person has a device for it. And it is also filled with various types of games and different information that we can use not only for the urbanization or for socialization, but also to integrate us, to empower us with knowledge and wisdom. And we can use that to change our environment for positive change. Yes, there may be negative impacts of social media, and that cannot be prevented. But we do agree that the positive effects of social media are much more prominent than the negative effects. It spreads awareness on mental health. We can use, for example, DOH, the Department of Health. They use their platform in social media to raise awareness on mental health, and that is why social media is full of knowledge, and it really helps us in empowering us with knowledge that we can use in aiding our mental health, in improving our mental awareness, and also
You have 1 minute left.
adding a change in our society that can help not only for our generation, but the coming generations as well. Once again, we are the King's College of the Philippines Laboratory High School, representing the proposition side of if social media has a positive impact on the mental health for all people, for all ages, race, ethnicity. And that is all. Thank you.
Time consumed 4 minutes 26 seconds. We now proceed with the second speaker on the negative side. Your time starts now.
To our judicators, to our fellow debaters, good morning, good afternoon to each and every one of us. So, we are the negative side, and we firmly oppose the idea that social media presents positive impact on mental health. And Mrs. Speaker, you have said earlier that social media can improve socialization, but is that really true? Well, it cannot defeat the face-to-face communication, you know. Well, maybe it can be good for communications on people who are far away, but does it really improve socialization when there are people who are using more social medias than interacting with their peers on face-to-face? And now I'm going to present all of our reasons why we oppose the idea that social media presents positive impact on mental health. Well, first of all, addiction to social media. People can get addicted to social media that can cause them to be lazy and to procrastinate, which will lead to people not doing what they need to do. And of course, if they cannot do their things on the time, they will be stressed. They will be rushing on things that they should do on their deadlines. Second reason, anxiety and depression. They will think too much on negative things that they see on social media. People will think negatively when they see negative things on social media. Like, for example, comments and things that can be insulting or negative. They can adapt those things, and it will affect greatly on their mental health. Third reason, people idolize people in social media. Those idolizations will make them develop bad personalities and traits that they are not really used to. They will develop things that they should not. and it will affect their mental health because they will get frustrated, for example, on doing things that they cannot do. They see things that they think they can do. It will inspire them and it will make them try on doing that. But when they do, maybe it's not just for them. And that will make them frustrated. The fourth is social interaction. Well, people can waste their time because of social media, and it will make the person lonely. Just like what I have said earlier, people will tend to use their phones and their social medias instead of interacting with other people. And of course, if you do that, you will be alone, and that will cause loneliness. And the more lonely you are, the more stressed you get. And the fifth reason, social media is too much of influence. It influences now the users' thinking and their capabilities. They do what they see on social media, and they might do things that are bad. Also, as we can see back on the times of pandemic,
You have 1 minute remaining.
there are a lot of cases of depressions and suicides. Why? Because there are no interactions with people. And what do people have at those times? They have social media. But did that help them on being healthy, on being mentally healthy? Maybe it did a little for other people because, as they have said, it depends on people. But what about the other peoples that doesn't have the ability to see the positive sides of the social media? And there is also the cyberbullying that is happening in social media. People can be bullied on social media. They can hear things that they must not hear.
Last 10 seconds.
They can be affected greatly on their mental health. That is all. Thank you.
Time consumed 4 minutes, 59 seconds. We now proceed to the 30-second rebuttal for each side, starting with the affirmative side. Your time starts now.
I'd like to oppose your proposition that social media, one of the negative effects of social media is social interaction. Well, in socialization, you can never be alone when you're in social media because there's a lot of people in that vast field, in that digital world, because socialization can be virtual or not, within or beyond the digital world. That is why socialization is one of the key aspects in social media. In that way, people can not be lonely.
Your time is up.
And that is all.
We now proceed with the rebuttal of the negative side. Your time starts now.
It is true that there are many people on social media that you can talk to, but can it really give you satisfaction of communication? Can it really relieve your loneliness? Can it really give you the sense of not being alone? I don't think that is true. And that is why I oppose what you have said. Thank you.
Time consumed 23 seconds. So that ends the 5th round. Actually, the first set of the debate contest for secondary. It's actually between Bambang National High School and King's College of the Philippines. Again, the topic is social media presents a positive impact on mental health, wherein King's College of the Philippines is the affirmative side and Bambang National High School is the negative side. Thank you very much to our first set of debaters from King's College of the Philippines and Bambang National High School. May we now proceed with the second set of debaters. The second set of debaters will be the contestants from St. Catherine's School and Salinas High School. May I then remind everyone to please refrain from being noisy while the debate is ongoing. You may clap your hands or cheer before and after the debate is done or conducted. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we shall proceed with the second set of debaters from St. Catherine's School and Salinas High School. Our debaters or the debating team from Salinas High School, Abigail Wallace, Lenny Visaya, Angel Nika Bonde, Sofia Kalpasi, and Amira Buayan. And from St. Catherine's School, we have Maria Riana Catharina Aduca, Rene Jones Hernandez, Sean Adrian Monsur del Rosario, Andre Stephen Duldulao, and Akisha Isabel Canlas. We now proceed with the toss coin.
May I request isang representative po from Salinas High School and one representative from St. Catherine's School for the toss coin. Captain? So, mamimili ka. Heads na siya. Ano, okay na? Check nyo heads. So, yung mananalo sa toss coin natin, silang school ang magde-determine kung sila ang affirmative side or sa negative side. Heads. So, heads po ang lumabas. So, St. Catherine's School will determine which side po sila.
May we have the topic from our judge?
Hello. For this match, the topic is nuclear power plants as a source of energy in the Philippines. Again, nuclear power plants as a source of energy in the Philippines.
Your 10 minutes to prepare now starts. May we have the facilitators to ask our team members which side are they on? The St. Catherine's first.
Saint Catherine, are you on the positive or on the negative side?
Negative side, sir.
So, you swap places. Salinas National High School, ito kayo sa kabila.
May we remind both teams that you still have 8 minutes to prepare. to both teams. You have 45 seconds remaining. Your time is up. So the preparation time has ended. Let us now proceed with the first round of the debate. May we have the first speakers from both the positive and the negative sides. Once again, may we have the first speakers from both the affirmative and the negative sides.
Mic test.
The positive side is Salinas High School, and the negative side is St. Catherine's School. Let's start with the affirmative side. Your 5 minutes or 5-minute talk time starts now.
Good evening, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm sorry. Well, it was already stated in the topic itself. Nuclear power plant is the source of most country. Well, since it is the source, it is already proven that most governments or most people would likely use nuclear power plant. Besides, if you would say that nuclear power plant is dangerous, well, specific safety measures are being done to maintain people's safety. Well, we have, if you would say we have water dams, well, we can use that as a source of electricity. Well, we already know that in Manila, there are water shortage. And that's all. Thank you.
Thank you. For the first speaker on the affirmative side, you have consumed the 1 minute, 21 seconds. We now proceed with the speaker on the negative side. Your time starts now.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. So, should nuclear power plants be the source of energy in the Philippines? We stand firm as the negative team. So, nuclear power plants should not be implemented in the Philippines. So, besides from being harmful, just like the affirmative said, it strips down the funds from the citizens of the Philippines. So, as an alternative, we have indeed better alternatives, such as solar power plants that use solar panels that uses energy from the sun. So furthermore, it is difficult to implement. In fact, it is time-consuming and costly. Moreover, considering the low economic status of the Philippines, we are unready for this implementation, and we should focus on improving our economy. Considering our debt, we cannot implement nuclear energy or power plants in the Philippines because it is too expensive. So the government should mainly focus on the economic status of the Philippines and not implement such power plants that will strip down the budget from the Filipinos. Thank you.
Thank you. Second speaker from the negative side. Please stay on at the center for the rebuttal. So you will be given 30 seconds each for the rebuttal. So let's start with the affirmative side. Your time starts now. Affirmative.
Well, we didn't. And if you implement nuclear power plant, it's not within the people's. Of it. As we said earlier, it is. We are maintaining people's safety, so it's not like we're going to put people in danger. So.
Speaker from Salinas High School, your time is up.
But I am talking about the economic status of the Philippines. I am talking about how unready Philippines is, considering the debt of the Philippines and the low status of its economy. I think we should not implement this because it's costly. Moreover, it's time-consuming, and as you said, it is harmful to the citizens. So why should we implement something that will harm our economy and also the citizens? Should it not be implemented? And solar power plants are better
Your time is
alternative
up.
than nuclear power plants.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. That's the first round of the debate between St. Catherine's School and Salinas High School. May we have the second round, or we shall now proceed with the second round. May we have our next set of speakers. Our next set of speakers shall be given 3 minutes to air their claims. May we have the speaker from Salinas High School for the affirmative side. Once again, may we have the speaker from Salinas High School for the affirmative side.
As my group mate said lately, nuclear power plants is already used in other countries, and governments would not implement nuclear power plants as a source of energy here in Philippines if it will endanger peoples. So Philippines has a lot of problems. Philippines has a lot of problems, like major blackouts in other parts of the Philippines, mostly in Manila. Ano pa? And that's all. Okay.
Time consumed, 1 minute, 2 seconds. We shall now proceed with the second speaker from the negative side. Your time starts now.
So, as you have stated, there are plenty of countries that have implemented the so-called nuclear power. However, have you considered that it would be too costly for our country? Are you aware that our country has accumulated over 11 billion pesos in debt? How are we supposed to be expected to pay for the making of these nuclear power plants? It is too expensive considering our country's debt. And what about those who cannot afford it? Will they not be stripped of their rights? As we said before, we would advocate for solar power and not nuclear power, as it is a renewable source of energy, and it would cause less harm to the environment and to the citizens of the Philippines. That is all. Thank you.
Okay, for the second speaker from the negative side, you have consumed 29 seconds. We shall now, 59 seconds. We shall now proceed with the rebuttal for 30 seconds each side. May we have the affirmative side? Your time starts now.
As you said earlier, it is costly, but we need it, and we need it to address the problems in the Philippines, which is major blackouts. But that's why we need to use nuclear power plants as a source of energy in the Philippines. That's all.
Time consumed 25 seconds. We now proceed with the rebuttal of the negative side. Your time starts now.
As you have said, we need to address the country's issues such as blackouts. But why not advocate for solar power instead? When nuclear power does so much harm, and not only is it expensive, it will be difficult to implement, as it will take years, months, and possibly decades for it to be in our country. That is all. Thank you.
You have consumed 22 seconds. That ends the second round. Thank you, dear speakers. We shall now proceed with the third round. May we request the third set of speakers. Each of them will be given 3 minutes to air their claims. We shall start with the speaker from the affirmative side. Your time starts now.
Nuclear power plants is already used. Huh? The leader of opposition team already said that we have solar panels, but we are I'm sorry. Philippines is trying everything for our safety by any means of harm. When we're in debt, why our own government is trying to build one? Is it because we're lacking sources for windmills, dams, and everything else?
Okay, for the first speaker, you have consumed 44 seconds. Now we shall proceed with the second speaker. Your time starts now.
Just like you said, the Philippines already has water dams as a source of energy and some solar panels as a source of energy. But like your colleague said earlier, there is a water shortage in Manila. So why not focus on that water shortage instead of implementing the nuclear power plant in the Philippines? Why not use the funds of implementing the nuclear power plants to instead use to the water shortage of the Philippines? Why not use those funds and make the water dams better? Why not use those funds to implement more solar energy? And why not use those funds to instead create renewable sources for the Philippines? Not to mention, implementing nuclear power plants is unstable and it is non-renewable. It brings harm to the environment and possibly to the people who will be using nuclear power plants.
Time consumed 1 minute 8 seconds. This time we shall proceed with the rebuttal part of your round, starting with the affirmative side. Your 30 seconds start now.
Was it because I agreed with nuclear power plants? Yeah.
Philippines is trying to implement other.
Your time is up. We shall now proceed with the rebuttal of the negative side. Your time starts now.
So you're trying to point out that Philippines is trying to implement new sources of energy. But we're a third world country. Nuclear power plants are mainly used for first world countries because they can afford it. We, as a third world country, cannot. That's why we're trying to say that those funds that will be used to implement the nuclear power plants should be used to implement the betterment of our country instead.
Okay? You have consumed 30 seconds. Thank you very much to both speakers. We now proceed, or we shall now proceed with the fourth round. Each speaker will be given 3 minutes to air their side. Starting with the affirmative side. Your time starts now.
As my other members said, we strongly believe that nuclear power plants as a source of energy in the Philippines is good because behind from its negative effects, we believe that nuclear power plants have more benefits just like decreased taxes in our electricity bill and many more, especially now that Filipinos is experiencing an inflation and not only in goods but also in our taxes, in which we badly need to address it.
Time consumed 40 seconds. We shall now proceed with the speaker from the negative side.
First and foremost, let me all ask you this question. Why is even there a need for establishing these kinds of factories, primarily nuclear power plants? First, let us determine what is inside of a nuclear substance. It is composed of uranium-32A, which is a resource that is expensive and scarce, meaning it is hard to get. Also, when acquiring these kinds of resources, it will be harmful to the acquirers. So, not to mention, it is a non-renewable resource, just like my co-debate said. Based from the economic status of the Philippines and upcoming plans of under the government, do they really need to prioritize these unstable sources of energy? And you have stated that it is good for the country. It will benefit the country. However, you have stated that it is said that the Philippines is a third world country, and if we're to compare to other nuclear power plants who have established these kinds of sources of energy, like the United States, Canada, and South Korea, it is a first world country. So to implement this, it will take a long process under the 1987 Philippine Bill of Constitution, Article 3, Section 1. No law shall be established, shall be made without due process, and nor shall every person shall be deprived of every protection of the law, stating that when establishing these kinds of factories, there is a situation wherein in Bataan, as we all have heard, in Bataan, there is an establishment wherein they will try to implement these kinds of nuclear power plants. And what have we seen? There are 15 missed attempts, and until now, it has not been implemented. That is all what I have to say. Thank you.
Time consumed 1 minute 59 seconds. Let us now proceed with the rebuttal part. Each of you will be given 30 seconds to rebut, starting with the affirmative side. Your time starts now.
You said earlier that Philippines is part of the third world country, but I believe still that nuclear power plants.
I am sorry, but your time is up. We shall now proceed with the second speaker from the negative side. Your time starts now.
To answer that question, yes, Philippines is a third world country, and under its development, we have seen that over the past years, it has always been a third world country and not advancing. So we have stated that from a topic, nuclear power plants as a source of energy in the Philippines, when trying to establish these kinds of expensive factories, is there a need also for it to be prioritized other than economic statuses, education?
Your time is up. Thank you very much to the fourth set of speakers. We shall now proceed to the fifth round. For the fifth round, each speaker will be given 5 minutes to air their claims for their respective sides. Your time starts now.
We strongly believe that nuclear power plants as a source of energy in the Philippines should be implemented. Some source of electricity is not a government property. And if we implement nuclear power plant, I believe that it would help our government to improve more of our resources. Besides, you don't need to be a first world country to implement nuclear power plant. The opposition team mentioned that successful countries implement nuclear plant. Wouldn't it help our country if we also implement nuclear power plant? When we do better, which is to construct dams, windmills, and anything else, where's our own resources when the water is for power, the wind is for power? Can we live when we lack our own needs to live? That's all. Thank you.
Time consumed 1 minute 18 seconds. We now proceed with the speaker from the negative side. Your time starts now.
Ladies and gentlemen, as this debate comes to a close, I just want to reiterate what my fellow debaters have said, that we should not implement nuclear power plants as a source of energy in the Philippines because it is harmful and it has a lot of radiation that will be used to destroy our environment, and it is also gonna be hard to implement because of the difficulty in our economy. It also will string down our budget for a lot of purposes, and it is also too expensive. It is also unstable. When we do not implement the right ways to make the power plant more stable, it will have a meltdown. And also, you mentioned earlier the inflation. So technically, you are implementing that our country does not have the enough budget to implement the nuclear power plants. And it will also lower our economic situation. We already have 11 billion in debt. So you are suggesting that we should just forget the debt and we should focus more on the power need of our country. But there are other alternatives in attaining more types of energy, like the renewable kind of energy, like the solar power. They are enough to provide energy for us, because with the use of solar energy, we can make more renewable kinds of energy like the wind energy and other, like the dams. And also, it will be difficult to implement because of the harmful effects it has on the environment. And also, the element that it uses is uranium-32A. That is really hard to find and it costs a lot. So we must not implement nuclear power plants so that we can lessen our costs and we can only use the cost to improve the our economic situation and provide more renewable ways for our economy and for our energy to grow. That's all. Thank you.
Time consumed 2 minutes, 22 seconds. We shall now proceed with the rebuttal round. Both of you shall be given 30 seconds for the rebuttal. Starting with the affirmative side.
Nuclear power plant is already used. The leader of opposition team already said that we have solar panels, but where are they? Nuclear power plant is indeed costly, but if it will help for the country's improvement, then I could say that it is worth it. Just like going to school, sending your child to school is costly. But since it would improve your child's life, you would do anything to put your child to school, right?
Your time is up. We shall now proceed with the rebuttal of the negative side. Your time starts now.
However, when you're going to implement nuclear power plants, its radiation will lead to the downfall of our environment. And when it will have a meltdown or the energy sources is unstable, it will lead to a nationwide or even a citywide explosion that will lessen more of our economies, and it will also endanger the citizens inside of that city. That's all.
Thank you. Time consumed 23 seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, that ends the second set of the debate. It's between St. Catherine's School and Salinas High School. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, the debaters from St. Catherine's School, the negative side, and Salinas High School, the affirmative side, with the topic, Nuclear Power Plants as Source of Energy in the Philippines. Our debaters, thank you very much. For the information of everyone, our judges will be deciding the winning teams for each set. And then after that, the winning teams from each set will be competing for the championship. Those who did not make it for each set will still be competing for the fourth set of the debate. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Tagisan ng Talino Secondary Schools Debate Competition of the Municipality of Bambang under Project JAMI, Achieving Merits in Education Through Academic Contest. In a few minutes, we will be announcing the results of the first and second set of the Secondary Schools Debate Competition. Ladies and gentlemen, we now have the results for this first and second set of the Tagisan ng Talino Secondary Schools Debate Competition. We have the first again. We would like to announce that the two winners of both sets shall compete for the championship, and the same is true with the losing teams of both sets. They shall also be competing for the third and fourth places. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, the results of the Tagisan ng Talino Secondary Schools debate competition for the first and second set. For the first set, between Bambang National High School and King's College of the Philippines, the winning debate team is the King's College of the Philippines. Congratulations, King's College of the Philippines. We shall also be announcing the winning debate team for the second set between St. Catherine's School and Salinas High School. The winning debate team for the second set is St. Catherine's School. Congratulations, St. Catherine's School and King's College of the Philippines. So this time, for match number 3 or the third set of the debate competition, we shall have Bambang National High School and Salinas High School. For match 4 or the fourth set of the debate competition or the championship round, we shall have King's College of the Philippines and St. Catherine's School. This time, may we call on stage the competing debate teams for match number 3 or the third set. Bambang National High School and Salinas High School. May we request Madam Samantha Domingo for the toss coin.
May I request one representative from Bambang National High School and one representative for Salinas High School for the toss coin to determine which side you will be having. Bambang National High School will determine their side.
For your topic, government should prioritize environmental conservation over economic development. Government should prioritize environmental conservation over economic development.
For the information of both teams, your time for your preparation has already started.
Ano?
Hello? Ma'am, excuse me po. Pa-hold po muna nung time. Thank you.
Affirmative po.
Ma'am, you can start the time na po. Thank you.
For the topic, government should prioritize environmental conservation over economic development. Bambang National High School is in the affirmative side and Salinas High School is in the negative side. You still have 9 minutes for your preparation. To both teams, you have 1 minute remaining for your preparation. Fifteen seconds remaining. To both teams, your time for the preparation is up. This time may we call the first speakers from both teams. We have from the affirmative, Bambang National High School, and the negative side, Salinas High School. Again, you are given 5 minutes to air your claims for each side, starting with the affirmative side. Your time starts now.
To our opponents, adjudicators, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant afternoon to each and every one of us. Today, we have gathered here to discuss whether government should prioritize environmental conservation over economic development. Now, let's discuss first what does that mean. Environmental conservation means that we have to focus more on more on protecting our environment and planting a lot of trees, right? While economic development focuses more on building structures and those structures affects the earth. And as we build those structures, we cut down trees, and that affects the air quality that we breathe. Now, the status quo of our environment here in Bambang, as you can see, there are more and more buildings that are being proposed to be built, and there are a lot of trees that are cut down. And that is why we, the affirmative side, firmly propose that the government should prioritize environmental conservation over economic development. And here are the reasons why. First, pollutions. Because of building a lot of structures, as I mentioned earlier, there are a lot of trees that are cut down. And as we do that, it lessens our air quality, and as we continue to do this, the next generation would have a better air quality than the air quality that we are breathing in right now. Second argument is the environment is our primary resource of materials, and if we were to prioritize economic development more, that would cause tremendous effect to the nature that will backfire to us eventually. As we cut down those trees, and as we keep on building those structures, those buildings, we would have to sacrifice our primary resources, such as the trees and the air quality. And if we do that, it would cause tremendous effect to us. And that is why we, the negative side, firmly oppose the proposition that government should prioritize environmental conservation over economic development.
Thank you very much, the speaker from Bambang National High School. From the affirmative side, time consumed 3 minutes 32 seconds. We now proceed with the speaker from Salinas High School, the negative side. Your time starts now.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Just because we won't prioritize environmental conservation, just because we prioritize economic development doesn't mean we will ignore environmental conservation. If we prioritize environmental conservation, we would be left behind. You could say that a greeny country is indeed nice and brings you back to the past. But if other countries would focus on environmental development, then our country's focus on environmental development, then our country's priority environment conservation is not of use. There are a lot of benefits for improving our economy. We can create more ideas if our economy is well developed. Then we can buy things that can improve our environment, like solar panels. It can improve our economy, and it was already proven that solar panels can reduce climate change. And with the tons of plastics in the ocean, we can find ways to improve the cleanliness of water through economic development. Agriculture is also joining our economic development. Also, medicines, electricity, foods. If we focus on environmental conservation, are you saying we should just let our economy crumble? Well, you mentioned earlier about pollution. I suppose we still have jeeps, a traditional vehicle, but because of economic development, we changed them with minibus to be exact. And it was also said that it reduces pollution, and that I'm proudly proposing. Thank you.
Thank you. Speaker from the negative side, time consumed 2 minutes 8 seconds. This time, we shall have the rebuttal from both sides. You're given 30 seconds each. From the affirmative side, your time starts now.
You said earlier that if we do not improve the economic development, then that would mean that we would get left behind. But that is not true, because we can still increase our economic development and still take care of our environment. And how can you be so sure that if we were to prioritize economic development, that would also mean that
Your time is up. We also hear the rebuttal of the negative side. Your time starts now.
Oh, then I will explain our opinions or whatsoever. Economic development is better since Philippines has a lot of problems like poverty, crime rates. And if we improve those, it would help our country better than focusing more on environment. Well, we're not saying we should ignore the environment, but I think it would be better if we focus more on our
Your time
economy.
is up. Thank you very much to the first set of speakers. May we also have the speakers for the second round. You shall be airing your sides for 3 minutes each. And of course, have a rebuttal for 30 seconds. Okay, speaker for the affirmative side, your time starts now.
To our fellow debaters, esteemed judges, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant morning to each and every one of us. Today we gather to talk about should government prioritize environmental conservation over economic development. And we, the affirmative side, firmly propose that the government should prioritize environmental conservation over economic development. And here are the reasons why. First, environmental conservation is more important. Second, environment can help economic development. Environmental conservation is more important because the environment is the provider of raw materials and things that can help the economy to grow. When we apply the logic, the better the environment, the better the economy. The environment is where we live, and if we don't focus on conserving it, in the near future, it can greatly affect our lives. For example, when we lost all our land field because it is full of buildings and factories for the economic development, it can reduce the amount of land that can be used for rice field, and it can reduce the amount of rice that is imported or exported over our country. And it can greatly affect the economic development. And with all of I said, that is the reason why we, the affirmative side, firmly propose the proposition of government should prioritize environmental conservation over economic development.
Time consumed 1 minute 46 seconds. We shall also hear the side of or the negative side. Your time starts now.
Well, we, the negative side, think that we should prioritize the economic development because if we prioritize environmental conservation, what will happen to our economy? How can we address the environmental issues if we cannot afford to buy some machines that could be used to maintain our environment? How can we have better life when we are stuck of being naturalists than being smart enough to be that responsible human being? That's all.
Time consumed 36 seconds. We shall now proceed with the rebuttal part, starting with the affirmative side. Your time starts now.
More factories means more problem for us to maintain. If you continue to build the economy and build many more factories and buildings rather than conserve the environment, how would you exactly think that it can benefit the society?
Time consumed 19 seconds. We also hear the rebuttal of the negative side. Your time starts now.
As we said earlier, if we focus on environmental conservation, how can we address the environmental issues? How can we maintain our environmental? How can we maintain our environment? How can we
Your time is up. Thank you very much to the second set of speakers. May we have the third set of the speakers for the third round. Each of them will be given 3 minutes to air their claims and 30 minutes for the 30 seconds rather for the rebuttal. Speaker from the affirmative side, your time starts now.
To our fellow debaters, adjudicators, audience, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant afternoon to each and every one of us. So today we have gathered to talk about a compelling argument whether government should prioritize environmental conservation over economic development. As we all know, resources came from the environment. If we prioritize economic development than environmental conservation, there is a big possibility of having our resources extinct. As we all know, businesses use our resources to create business and make goods. But if we keep spending them and not conserve them, it will not do us any good. So to provide more goods, isn't it better to provide resources first? We don't know we don't know how we don't know the we don't know the time that we will not have any resources to get, so we should still conserve them for the practicality of our lives. That's all. Thank you.
Time consumed 1 minute 16 seconds. It's this time it's the negative side's turn. Your time starts now.
Government is one of the fruit of economic development. A talk discussing the flow of money. When you think about it, even just for a second, you'll imagine growth, improvement happening. Economic development is simply doing environment conservation too. When do you think government is made as a danger for environment? That's all. Thank you.
Time consumed 24 seconds. This time, we shall proceed with the rebuttal from each side, starting with the affirmative side. Your time starts now.
As you have said, government, one of its field is the economic. Yes, one of its field is economic, but do you think the only thing that makes the government work with economic is just making money and not producing some goods and resources? That's all. Thank you.
Time consumed 3 minutes. 30 seconds. For the negative side, your turn for the rebuttal.
Money is helping us for everything that we do in our daily lives, like in planting trees. Yeah, we need transportation, economic development, and the people who will work to do that job. Yes, it's economic development. Thank you.
Thank you. Time consumed 30 seconds also. That ends the third round, where we also have the speakers for the fourth round. They shall be given 3 minutes to air their sides. May we have the fourth speaker from Salinas High School. Again, may we have the fourth speaker from Salinas High School. The speaker from the affirmative side, your time starts now.
To our fellow debaters, judges, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant afternoon to each and every one of us. So we, the affirmative side, firmly propose that government should prioritize environmental conservation over economic development, and here's the reason why. Our resources must be used in a right and must be conserved. It is very timely that our resources are not used properly. Environmental conservation must be prioritized for the future generation to have resources to use. Remember that we benefit from our environment. Environment comes first before economy, because how could you grow economy if you don't consider and prioritize the environment? Remember that we are the guardians of the nature. We are the one who's responsible for the environment. To what would it be? Environmental conservation comes first before economy development. Imagine, even if you grow economy, build many establishments, but our nature is slowly dying. I repeat, environment comes first before economy. That is why we, the affirmative side, firmly propose that government should prioritize environmental conservation over economic development.
Time consumed 1 minute 13 seconds. May we also hear from the negative side. Your time starts now.
We firmly believe that economic development should be prioritized and not environmental conservation, because this is a way for us to improve the quality of our lives, especially now in the Philippines. First, the most important reason is that environmental conservation cannot pay our debt. Unlike economic development, it has many benefits, such as lesser taxes, more capital, improved quality of equipment, especially in the agricultural agricultural sector in which farmer body need it. Second, economic environment should be more prioritized to make our country more developed and for our country to get out as being the third world country. And lastly, how can we protect the environment without a government budget?
Time consumed 59 seconds. We shall now proceed with the rebuttal part. The affirmative side, your time starts now.
How sure are you that if we prioritize economic development, then how sure are you if if we prioritize economic development, will be 100% better than prioritizing environmental conservation?
Time consumed 21 seconds. The negative side for the rebuttal, your time starts now.
But still, yes, I'm 100% sure because money is needed every time and everywhere.
Time consumed 13 seconds. Thank you very much to the fourth set of speakers. We shall now have the fifth round. For the fifth round, each speaker will be having or is given 5 minutes to air their claims, following a 30-second rebuttal for each team. Once again, may we have... Okay. For the affirmative side, your time starts now.
To our fellow debaters, to our judicators, to our audience, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon to each and every one of us. The Philippines is very rich when it comes to environmental beauty. But in the course of time, this beauty have been declining. The forestry, the natural beauty have been destroyed to build cities, mines, factories, and many more things. Things just to improve the so-called economy. We as Filipinos should love and protect what our country presents us, instead of trying to change what we have just to be something that we think will help us. And that is why we, the affirmative side, firmly propose that government should prioritize environmental conservation and economic development. And I am here to present all of other reasons why. First of all, pollution. Trees are being cut and Earth's quality is declining, causing air pollutions. If we try to improve our nature, just like what I have said, cities will be built, mines, and factories that will get more lands. Our nature will be destroyed if we build them. Of course, there are some good effects that comes from it, especially in our economy. But we need to think about our environment. Second, nature is the primary source of our materials. We will lose our resources if we continue on cutting trees. Because just like what I have said, all those cities, all those factories will need much more space, or the space that is for rice mills or something like that. They will occupy those places just to have space to build those so-called things. And third, environment can help us with economy, with the resources and riches. Just like the first thing I have said, nature is the source of our materials, and we can use the resources that we get from our nature to build our economy. Because what is economy? It is equally distributing our scarce resources, and we need to protect our nature to have more resources, and that is also a part of it. And our fifth, resources scarcity. The resources will be much more scarce because just as I have said, nature is the source of our resources. So resources will be much more scarce. And also for the future, we should think about the next generation, and we need to conserve what we have. And why don't we just embrace our nature, what we have, the nature that we have, the the environmental treasure that we have. That is all. Thank you.
Time consumed 3 minutes 48 seconds. This time it's the negative side's turn. Your time starts now.
Good afternoon, everyone. We strongly disagree that government should prioritize environmental conservation over economic development. Because if we prioritize economic development, it will improve the quality of life in the Philippines. Because it is undeniable that Philippines experiencing poverty. It will also address the environmental issues. Because if we have economic development, it is easier to address that issues. So, and in Japan, they are all well developed. Because of a well-developed economy, they manage to make something that can be reused and eco-friendly, not just Japan, but more first world country. So, you said earlier that nature is our resources. But how can we maintain our nature if we don't have well-development economy? That's all. Thank you.
Time consumed 1 minute 15 seconds. We now proceed with the rebuttal part, starting with the affirmative side. Time starts now.
You have said earlier that that the economy will. It is better to improve the economy, but is it?
We now proceed with the rebuttal of the second speaker from the negative side.
How can we prioritize environmental conservation if we don't have enough equipment or money to use? We all know that money is powerful. So if we have economic growth, it is easier to conserve our environment. And government is implementing clean and green, and they are using money too. That's all. Thank you.
Time consumed 27 seconds. So that ends the fifth round of the third match between Bambang National High School and Salinas High School. Of course, with their topic, government should prioritize environmental conservation over economic development. With Bambang National High School in the affirmative side and Salinas High School in the negative side. Ladies and gentlemen, let us give both debate teams a round of applause. This time, thank you very much, debaters from Salinas High School and Bambang National High School. For the information of everyone, the winning debate team in the third match of the debate competition shall be announced as the third placer, and the losing team the fourth placer. This time, ladies and gentlemen, we shall now go or proceed to the most awaited part of, or to the most awaited set of the debate competition, which is the winner to winner, which will be played by the winning team from the first set and the winning team from the second set. No other than the debate teams from St. Catherine's School and King's College of the Philippines. And we now call on the members of St. Catherine's School debate team and King's College of the Philippines debate team. Ma'am Samantha, Ma'am Sam, we shall have the toss coin.
May I call on the team captain of KCP? KCP will determine their side.
May we request one of the members of our Board of Judges to read the topic.
The final topic for today's debate championship is legalization of recreational drugs creates sensible approach to address addiction and crime. Again, legalization of recreational drugs creates sensible approach to address addiction and crime.
So, on many studies, I would say that we shall go to on the negative side. On the negative side.
So King's College of the Philippines has chosen, the King's College of the Philippines debate team has chosen the negative side. Meaning to say, St. Catherine's School's debate team shall have the affirmative side. The topic is legalization of recreational drugs creates sensible approach to address addiction and crime. Your time has started. You still have 9 minutes, 30 seconds.
Good afternoon, debaters. We would just like to clarify recreational drugs is marijuana. Thank you.
Can we ask a question po? Recreational drugs, specifically marijuana only po? Only. Thank you po.
Sir, may I ask a question? Can you further elaborate the topic?
Hello. To make it clearer, legalization of the use of marijuana creates sensible approach to address addiction and crime. Yes. So we are just changing recreational drugs to marijuana, or the use of marijuana creates sensible approach to address addiction and crime.
To both teams, you have 1 minute remaining for the preparation. Your time for the preparation has concluded. Let us now proceed with the debate proper. Let's start with the first speakers, of course, for our first round. For our topic, the St. Catherine Schools debate team is in the affirmative side, and the King's College of the Philippines debate team is in the negative side. For the speaker in the affirmative side, your time starts now.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. So, according to the Republic Act number 9165 or the Anti-Illegal Drugs Act, the use of recreational drugs have been banned in the Philippines. However, marijuana have been proven to alleviate pain from several patients. So, this addresses addiction and crime by only legalizing its medical impact to alleviate pain, just like as I said, and suffering from cancer, HIV/AIDS, arthritis, and such as that from patients. This will also lead to the betterment of the medical system, considering the budget of the Philippines for high-end medical materials. Also, this will impact positively the unemployment rate of Filipinos by opening job offers like manufacturers, cultivators, producers, and trimmers of the cannabis plant that can be an alternative to or for rehabs and drug addicts, even pushers, as a better option for punishment. So, we, the affirmative team, are agreeing for the medical use and economic value of this law to lessen unethical acts done by mostly privileged people. And we are standing firm by the medical use and the economic value of this marijuana, for it is a better alternative for us considering the economic status of the Philippines. Thank you.
Time consumed 1 minute 38 seconds. This time, it's the negative side's turn. Your time starts now.
So, in the negative side of the statement, I would say something. Recreational drugs are still drugs. Therefore, it cannot be counted to be legalized. That is, not in the political law, you must not consider anything outside of that statement of the law. Therefore, even if it was recreational for the benefit of and welfare of their consumers, I do not think that it is still approachable in that way. Let me state. Let us first begin with the industry. So, the industry of drug trade is still a rising power ever since the end of the term of our former President Duterte. Drug trades are still rising because of such loss of the strong and firm justification of the illegalization of drugs. Economy-wise, it is not helpful to the economy for the use of drugs as trade. That is, let me say, for 2,400 grams of marijuana, That is 2,000, for 1 gram of marijuana, that is 2,400 pesos. And when it's illegal, do you think it can still benefit, when it's legal, do you think it can still benefit our economy? I think not. Economy in our dear country has been on a, say, stable side against the world economy and against globalization. That is why the use of the legalization of drug trades of such recreational drugs will only cause more turmoil into our economy. Then next, for the crime, I do not think that it can mitigate crime. I don't think legalization of drugs can mitigate crime. Like I said, a drug is still a drug. In relation to economy, cost will only hinder others to do the same. That is why when you legalize it, it does not give any effect to the crime rate, because most crimes does not have to consider anything about drugs. So that is why marijuana is highly controversial in the first place, not on the basis of its medical, but its basis stands firm on the welfare of its consumers because of its strong addictive element. Due to this, I do not think it can also use to address addiction. Back to my statement, a drug is still a drug, whether it is beneficial or whether it can cause on the negative aspect of the welfare of a person. So going back to the statement, let us consider for the economy. Do you, I noticed something that even, okay, so even without, even if legalizing this substance, many still people does it illegally, and therefore, it does not change the employment rate, because even if it was legal or illegal, many people will still take money from it, especially from the trade with other countries. That is why it does not affect the employment rate. With this, I strongly say that recreational drugs cannot address addiction and crime on the accounts of its economy and the welfare of its consumers. That is all. Thank you.
Time consumed 4 minutes, 36 seconds. This time, we shall continue with the rebuttal. 30 seconds for each side. Starting with the affirmative side. Time starts now.
So you're saying that it cannot impact the unemployment rate of Filipinos, while I said earlier that it can actually impact positively the unemployment rate by opening job offers, such as cultivators, manufacturers, producers, and trimmers of the cannabis plant. So it can also impact the economy by having alternatives such as marijuana that is cheaper from high-end products, such as high-end medical tools, such as what we use for chemotherapy, and it can alleviate pain. Also, this
Okay, your time is up.
So better if I will end my statement with a question. In which research study or source did you get that giving such a opportunity will increase our economy? In which study did you read or did you source from your statement? That is all.
Time consumed 23 seconds. We shall proceed with the second round. May we request the speakers from both debate teams for the second round. You are given 3 minutes to air your claims and 30 seconds for the rebuttal for the opposing team's claims. May we have the speaker from St. Catherine's School? Speaker from the affirmative side, your time starts now.
So, as my friend have said earlier, marijuana or recreational drugs, as it's stated, can be used responsibly. When put in the hands of professionals, there is a due process to make sure that this marijuana is safe, and we would like to say should be used for medical purposes. As proven, as stated, marijuana can cure seizures, HIV or AIDS, and cancers. It helps elevate the pain of those patients suffering. So again, we would like to legalize recreational drugs. And additionally, regarding the economic status, as my colleague has said, recreational drugs does offer benefits, as it does provide jobs for others. As she has said, people can be cultivators, farmers, manufacturers of this product, and it can help our economy and country grow. It can also lead to even more medical breakthroughs that could help not only the medical field, but also the people of our country. Thank you.
Time consumed, 1 minute, 27 seconds.
So, a blessed afternoon to every one of us. So, drug addiction is very common nowadays. And if you are going to review most of the crimes committed here in our country by the people, drug is always the root of all. Drug is always the reason why people commit crimes. Therefore, the legalization of drugs like marijuana, to be specific, do not create a sensible approach to address addiction and crimes. Especially nowadays, Filipino people are stubborn. And like you've said earlier, responsibly, how can you be certain that people can use marijuana? Can use marijuana without abusing or misusing the use of these kind of drugs. So therefore, we believe that the legalization of recreational drugs do not create a sensible approach to address addiction and crimes. That would be all. Thank you.
Time consumed, 1 minute, 5 seconds. We shall now proceed with the rebuttal, starting with the affirmative side. Your time starts now.
That's why I have said that it should be only given to professionals to ensure there is a due process that this medical substance, marijuana to be exact, won't be used irresponsibly by those who obtain it.
Time consumed, 16 seconds.
Professional people can still abuse the use of marijuana. So if there are still stubborn people, yes, we cannot avoid that. There's also a possibility that our economic growth will also decline.
Time consumed, 13 seconds. Thank you very much to the second set of speakers. We shall now proceed with the third set of speakers. Speaker from the affirmative side, your time starts now.
Ladies and gentlemen, I firmly believe the legalization of recreational drugs or marijuana, as stated, creates sensible approach to address addiction and crime. Earlier, my colleague has said that the legalization of marijuana to address medical use can be a sensible approach to addiction and crime, because not only does it elevate the pain of people who are suffering from illnesses, but it can also be an alternative to expensive equipment, to expensive medical equipment, or it can be an alternative to expensive medical equipment. Not to mention, your colleague earlier has stated that former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte has been fighting for the illegal use of drugs. But didn't also former President Rodrigo Roa state in a conference that if you smoke it like a cigarette, then I will never ever allow it. But if you use it to aid the people in pain, then I shall allow it. Then doesn't that counter your argument? That's why we're stating that the legalization of recreational drugs shall be used for medical use only. And that's why my colleague earlier has said that it shall be given to professionals, to trusted professionals, so that the legalization of marijuana shall not be abused. Not to mention economic growth. The legalization of marijuana, its production, the factories that it will be that will be created due to its legalization will give job opportunities to people who are less fortunate enough to have jobs in a sense. Earlier, you also stated that drugs are still drugs. But aren't medical drugs also drugs? So are you stating earlier that these medical drugs should also be banned? Are you saying that medical drugs, because they're still drugs, should be banned? That is all. Thank you.
Time consumed 2 minutes 17 seconds. May we also hear from the negative side? Your time starts now.
Yes, we can use it in medical fields, but it can cause addiction to that someone who take that drugs. If we legalize drugs, it will not address the addiction and crime because it will make many people more addictive and to do more crime. For example, we cannot just legalize marijuana because many stubborn Filipinos will still abuse these drugs. Like during Duterte's term, he don't like people who is using drugs and marijuana because we cannot even discipline ourselves. Why we will implemented the legalization of marijuana if we cannot just discipline ourselves? First, before we legalize or implement something, we must note and think that we should discipline ourselves better before doing that kind of implementation or action. Yes, it is beneficial to medical fields, but some of the studies that we read while we're studying this debate, many of the people who undergo and get the marijuana treatment, it causes them addiction. Before we legalize something, we must be knowledgeable and disciplined. According to the article that I read, marijuana has a good cause, but if the people abuse it, let's not just legalize it. In short, we legalize something, we must know it will be that we know that it would be good to our country. Because for me, we cannot just legalize something if the people here in country is not that disciplined enough to take that responsible that they will not abuse the legalization of marijuana, because even professional will use it so that they can profit to it. That's all. Thank you.
Time consumed 2 minutes. We now proceed with the rebuttal, starting with the affirmative side. Your time starts now.
That's why we keep reinstating that it should only be given to professionals, to trusted professionals, so that it shall not be abused. Our main point here is that it shall be used for medical use and given to professionals so that they can moderate the use of marijuana so that addiction can be reduced. Not to mention, just like I stated earlier, former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte also stated that if you smoke it like
Your
a cigarette...
time is up.
Well, even though the professional, we can say that if the professional will take charge to it, we don't know if that professional people will be that knowledgeable and or he or she is more disciplined, that she or he will not abuse that drugs. Because we know right now, we cannot just trust anyone. Why? Because many of us can even trust themselves. Why can we just
Your
trust
time is
professional
up.
that... Thank you.
Thank you very much to the third set of speakers. We shall now proceed with the fourth round. You are given 3 minutes each to state your claims and 30 seconds for the rebuttal. The affirmative side, your time starts now.
To equivocate the question, what study is that many people who undergo marijuana treatment causes addiction? To rebut the question, in a recent study in a medical field, on the biochemical field in the University of Santo Tomas, there is a whopping 60% of the statistics who uses this marijuana for medical purposes. And if we're to use for medical purposes, it will have diverse effects. However, it is used in moderation. Now, to answer the question, if we're to implement the legalization of marijuana, it would have a sensible approach to address these crimes and addiction. Research states that the usage of marijuana amongst Filipinos in the late 2022, that is estimated to be 10%, other than drugs that are smuggled illegally, which are petamenafil, which is the shabu, which they call now, it is a whopping 90%, and meth is 10%, according to the Philippine Statistics Association. Now, to state, marijuana is different from petamenafil and meth. If we're to be legalized, there is always a due process upon establishing such implementations under the 1987 Philippine Bill of Constitution, that there is always a due process in which licensed doctors will undergo other surveys, interviews in which they are knowledgeable about. So to deter the question, does professionals really undergo to that discrimination wherein sometimes they are not knowledgeable? They are licensed for some reason. They are professionals for some reason. They have studied those types for some reason. Now, if we're to be implemented, there are also negative effects. However, there is always a due process in which the court allows you to, in which the government allows you to, in which hospitals who will implement this will have process to. Now, to address the addiction and crime, it will states that it will be legalized for recreational purposes. Now, it says that marijuana there. Now, if we're to implement, it will promote the economic benefit of our country, just like my colleague has said. Now, if we're to address, it will deter addiction and crime, to decrease addiction and crime in which now our country is suffering from, which is now the main problem of this country. Now, if we're to be legalized, it will have a sensible approach in a way that it can benefit our country, not deter and discriminate our country anymore. Thank you.
Time consumed, 2 minutes, 58 seconds. We shall also hear from the negative side. Your time starts now.
Okay, as we say a while ago, professionals, even in any fields, either in political or in here professional in medicine, they can abuse their power. So, next, when it comes to legalization of recreational drugs, it is not that effective when it comes to addressing addiction and crime. There are many various ways, alternative ways to deal with both addiction and crimes. Not only that, and if you legalize recreational drugs, or to be specific, marijuana, will it really solve the problem of addiction and crime? In the area of medicine, we would say it does have a chance, but to deal with addiction and crime, I doubt that.
Time consumed, 59 seconds. We shall proceed with the rebuttal part, starting with the affirmative side. Your time starts now.
Stating that you have said there are other alternatives to address addiction and crimes. What are those alternatives? Crime, such as violation of human rights. Does it really address addiction and crime? So according to our statistics, we're in death. There are studies such as from the UST that there are studies that death doesn't deter crime. That death threats doesn't deter crime. So if we're to address
Your time
addiction
is up. We now proceed with the negative side. Your time starts now.
Addressing the addiction and crime, obviously we can see the many alternative ways like being heavy in implementing laws and what our government is doing, like in the police, they are going to really watch over you when it comes to crime and the addiction. You're just going to discipline yourself, and you don't have that you don't really need that recreational drugs.
Your time is up. Thank you very much to the fourth set of speakers. We shall now proceed we shall now listen to the last set of speakers for the championship match. Each speaker will be given 5 minutes and 30 seconds for the rebuttal. The affirmative side, your time starts now.
Ladies and gentlemen, to sum up why we are agreeing to the legalization of recreational drugs, firstly, it can remove pain, which can also be used for medicinal purposes. And also, it is a great alternative for chemotherapy. And it will also help those people who are now undergoing and who are experiencing cancer, HIV, AIDS. And it can also help the betterment of our medicinal budget. And also, it can increase our economy rate by giving people jobs like manufacturers, cultivators, producers, and trimmers of the cannabis plant. And let me also reiterate that it should be given for just to trusted professionals. And please, try not to discriminate those professionals. Even if we are stubborn, those professionals have their license for a reason. They can be trusted. Even if there are some professionals who cannot be trusted, don't let it cloud your judgment. Many people nowadays want to legalize marijuana because of its medicinal purposes. And also, it can be used as a great alternative for other medicines that cost a lot. And also, there's always a due process for everything. Nothing can be legalized just because it is valuable or even if it has greater goods. But because of the due process, there are many researchers or even the court that can clarify the fact that marijuana can be used for medicinal purposes and it can be legalized as such. That is all. Thank you.
Time consumed 1 minute 45 seconds. We now proceed with the negative side. Your time starts now.
A pleasant afternoon to everyone. Once again, we are on the opposition side on the legalization of recreational drugs that may create sensible approach to address addiction and crime. Now, we have a reason why we chose the negative side. And before I continue with some of the additional information that I can add, I would like to put up some of the rebuttals that your team has mentioned earlier. For the medical purposes, yes, we cannot deny that marijuana or the cannabis sativa, as its scientific name, gives medical benefits such as treating cancer, preventing seizures and pains, alleviates some things. However, those are only for physiological aspects. What about mental aspects? If you intake a marijuana or that recreational drug, it will keep on increasing your dopamine level and it will lead to addiction. Secondly, I would also like to add some of the rebuttals on the economic growth. It can add more job opportunities to the people. However, how about the consumers? If those consumers get addicted to that drug, their health will keep on deteriorating and deteriorating until they are no longer able to do their job properly, resulting to unemployment rates increase. And also for the moderation of that drug. You said that in moderation, through trusted professional workers. However, I want to ask you, is the Philippines ready for that change? If we have enough trusted professionals who can be workers in the production and the distribution of this drug. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to conclude on our opposition side that marijuana or recreational drug, it is called recreational drug for a reason because its purpose as a recreational drug is more prominent than that of being for medical purposes. That's why our team in King's College of the Philippines Laboratory High School firmly and strongly disagree that this cannabis sativa or this recreational drug should be legalized in our country because I don't think that they have a sensible approach to the address on addiction and crime, but it may increase the chance of abuse and misuse of this drug. And that is all for us. Thank you.
Time consumed 2 minutes 56 seconds. This time we shall proceed with the rebuttal part, actually the final rebuttal. 30 seconds for each team. Affirmative side, your time starts now.
To answer your question, yes, there is a chance for change. Nothing can be done without change and taking risks. The Philippines is willing to take that risk, and there's a lot of professionals who are trusted and can be used as tools so that many patients won't overdose this drug. And there's always a moderate use of this. The drug should be only used in the surveillance of those professionals and not be bought just anywhere but only by those.
Your time is up. The negative side, your time starts now.
With regards to moderation, I'd like to add some of the substances that are used here in moderation. For example, alcohol and smoking. Those are used in moderation. However, they are already abused. So how can you assure that the legalization of marijuana can be used in moderation if alcohol can't be used properly?
Time consumed 28 seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, you just have witnessed the championship round or the championship match of Bambang Secondary School's debate competition. Of course, with King's College of the Philippines debate team and St. Catherine School's debate team. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, let us give them a warm round of applause. While waiting for the decision of the judges, we would like to announce to you the members of the different debate teams from the different secondary schools of the municipality of Bambang. Starting with the debate team from Salinas High School. We have Abigail Wallace, Lenny Visaya, Angel Nika Bonde, Sofia Kalpasi, and Amira Buayan. Their coach is Madam Lovely May J. Julian. We also have the members of Bambang National High School debate team, Aaron Job L. Magonsha, Kristen Alessandra T. Dalyong, Jolina L. Camilo, Van Jason Seredio, and Althea May G. Brunoa. Their coach is Madam Jovelyn G. Morales. The members of King's College of the Philippines debate team, Tracy Rose Francel M. Miguel, Shekinah Kazia B. Flores, Russell Clyde M. Dayagan, John A. Marquez Jr., and lay friends Joy R. Pitpitunge. Their coach is Sir Marshan Sabay. And last but not the least, the St. Catherine School debate team, Maria Rihanna Catharina Aduca, Rennie Jones Hernandez, Jean Adrian Monjur del Rosario, Andre Stephen Duldulao, and Akisha Isabel Canlas. Their coach is Madam Catherine R. Razo. We would also like to take this opportunity to express our gratitude to the members of the Board of Judges. The municipality of Bambang, headed by our local chief executive, the Honorable Benjamin Jamil Yuren Quaresma III, would like to thank Engineer Zander Can Lizardo, Sir Nathaniel Aliguyon, and Madam Gian Earl Lucas for sharing their expertise as judges of today's secondary schools debate competition and the extemporaneous speaking contest which was held this morning. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, let us give a round of applause to the different debate teams of Bambang. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment of truth. The announcement of the winners for the Tagisan ng Talino Secondary Schools Debate Competition. Under Project JAMI, Achieving Merits in Education Through Academic Contest. Before the announcement of the winners, we would like to take this opportunity to recognize the members of our Board of Judges. And as a token, and as a sign of gratitude, our dear Mayor, the Honorable Benjamin Lloren Quaresma III, would like or would be presenting tokens of appreciation to our judges. May we then request Engineer Zander Can Lizardo, Sir Nathaniel Aliguyon, and Madam Gian Earl Lucas to proceed on stage to receive their tokens of appreciation and also their certificates of appreciation. To accompany our dear Mayor is one of the municipal councilors of this town, the Honorable Freddie Eagle S. Ramel. The certificate of recognition reads, Republic of the Philippines, Province of Nueva Vizcaya, Municipality of Bambang. Certificate of recognition is proudly presented to the name of the judge in grateful recognition for his or her exceptional dedication, expertise, and invaluable contribution as judge in the debate and extemporaneous speech competition during the Tagisan ng Talino 2023, given this 14th day of December 2023 at the Municipal Auditorium, Bambang, Nueva Vizcaya. Signed, Municipal Mayor, the Honorable Benjamin Jamil Yuren Quaresma III. To our judges, thank you very much for sharing your time and expertise. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, let us give a big round of applause to our intelligent debaters of the municipality of Bambang. Of course, they are the chosen ones from their respective secondary schools. May we request the debaters for the third match, Bambang National High School Debate Team and Salinas High School Debate Team, to please move forward for the announcement of the third and fourth placers. The fourth place for the secondary debate competition is Salinas High School. Abigail Wallace, Lenny Visaya, Angel Nika Bonde, Sofia Kalpasi, and Amira Buayan. May we request their coach, Madam Lovely May J. Julian, to accompany her students on stage. May we also request our beloved local chief executive, the Honorable Benjamin Lloren Quaresma III, and the Board of Judges for the photo opportunity. May we also request the Honorable Freddy Ramel to join the group. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, the fourth place for this year's secondary schools debate competition, Salinas High School. And the third place for this year's secondary schools debate competition, Bambang National High School. The members are Aaron Job L. Magoncia, Kristen Alessandra T. Dalyong, Jolina L. Camilo, Van Jason Seredio, and Althea May G. Brunoa. Their coach is Madam Jovelyn G. Morales. May we also request the Board of Judges to please proceed on stage to join our dear Mayor and Councilor Ramel, as well as our contestants and their coach for the photo opportunity. Once again, the third place for this competition, Bambang National High School. Congratulations. This time, we shall be announcing the first and second places. But according to the mayor, we shall be announcing the first place. Automatically, the school which is not mentioned is the second place. The champion of this year's Tagisan ng Talino Secondary Schools Debate Competition is King's College of the Philippines. King's College of the Philippines is composed of Tracy Rose Francel M. Miguel, Shekinah Kazia B. Flores, Russell Clyde M. Dayagan, John A. Marquez Jr., and lay friends Joy R. Pitpitunge. Their coach is Sir Marcian Sebey. Of course, our second place is St. Catherine's School. The members of SCS debate team are Maria Riana Catharina Aduca, Renny Jones Hernandez, John Adrian Munzur Del Rosario, Andre Stephen Duldulao and Kisha Isabel Canlas. Their coach is Madam Catherine R. Razo. We shall also be awarding these special awards. Of course, these are individual awards coming from the winning team and the second placer. So we shall have the best debater and the best speaker. So brace yourselves, members from the champion school and the first runner-up or the second place. The best debater is the fifth speaker during the championship round. And also, the best speaker is the fourth speaker during the championship round, coming from St. Catherine School's debate team. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, the best debater from the winning team, the King's College of the Philippines, and the best speaker from the second placer, the SCS debate team. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, to the winners, congratulations. We would also like to announce that the awarding proper or the awarding ceremony for the winning teams or for all the teams will happen on a later date. Ladies and gentlemen, that ends today's Tagisan ng Talino Secondary Schools Debate Competition. Once again, congratulations to all the competitors. To the coaches, good job.